Hi everyone. How many of you have written a love letter? I see you. How many of you have received a love letter? Okay. And how many of you have still got that love letter and that reminds you that something special happened in your life after that? Wait a minute. The love letter that I am talking about is not the love letter what's in your mind. The love letter I am speaking is the love letter I call for a government-issued notice. So on the 10th of July, I tested positive for COVID-19. That day, a letter was pasted out of my house that I should be under quarantine for the next 14 days. Hi, my name is Ameen-e-Mudassar, and I'm the founder of CIGMA, and I'm here to share a story from my life. Not just one, but 3 of them, and all of them I call it as crisis. So my topic for all of you today is how small actions can spark a big change. Let's go back in time. 20 years ago, I was a young engineering graduate working with schools, visiting them to motivate students and get them on the track to score good marks in their exams. Wait, that was not the end. I actually found that there was a big problem, and that is what I call as the first crisis, the career chaos. It was in 2004, while visiting to many schools in Bangalore, I found that students had no idea about what to do in life after their grade 10th. They had good marks, they wanted good money, but they were only having 2 things in mind, which are India's national problems. You become a doctor or you become an engineer. So what I did was, with my friends with whom I was there in an NGO called Moment Students Welfare Trust, we designed one simple poster. And that one simple poster was all about what they could do after their grade 10th. And friends, that's what I say, one poster, a big change, a big dream, a big ripple. From 2004, I started working with many schools, many colleges across the different cities of Karnataka and also a few outside Karnataka. What happened was, in 2007, I realized that I had to find out a much bigger thing that needs to be addressed for students because they were actually not at all knowing what they could do after their 10th. And 2007, I decided to write a book. Courses and Careers After 10th. From one poster, I moved to a book. It was now a book. Same year, I went to a couple of newspapers and requested them, can you do a review of my book? And to my luck, I found that a good reporter from a very popular newspaper interviewed me and put a news saying that he guides students. That day I realized that with great power, comes great responsibility. Moving on, after I came to 2011, in 2011, I found that India had started using internet more often than before. Indians love to go on the internet and search everything. So I set up www.after10thwhat.com. This website became the #1 website for everything to do with courses, careers, and jobs after 10th. And this is what I say is a big ripple that we could create by making one website, starting from one poster. This website, in the next 3 years, made a huge impact. Our website, in the next 3 years, went on to do big impact in the entire country. We had almost 1 million visitors and more than 2.5 million page views. You see that? One poster, which started off because of a small problem, is now a big website which has been viewed with more than 2.5 million views. What happened next was even more interesting. 2015, we were planning for a new book, and I decided that let's put out a poster which will talk about after 10th and after 12th, because we had now figured out that not only after 10th, but also after 12th, you had many confused students. We made a chart. That chart went viral. I got this chart back to me from various people. It was the moment people realized the power of WhatsApp, and through WhatsApp, it went across the countries. It went into the deepest of the areas in the country, and it reached millions. Friends, in 2016, I got a message. I got a call from a young man who was printing the wedding invitation for his sister's marriage. And he told me, "Sir, can you give the permission to print your chart in my sister's wedding invitation?" I was like, "Why would somebody print a chart in a wedding invitation?" He said, "I don't want to waste money printing just the name, just the place, time, and everything. I want your chart to occupy the entire space, and we will just print a small strip of line mentioning the place, the time, and the bridegroom." Now, this is what I call how you can create something that can make people stand up and use it for a larger cause. 16. Moving on, let's see the next crisis. The next crisis, I call it as the scholarship chaos. India is a country where higher education is affordable only for limited number of people. Let me go back in time to 2006 and tell you about a boy called Nawaz. In 2006, I used to volunteer myself with various NGOs who used to ask me to guide students, and one such student, I was asked to visit his home and see whether he is eligible for a scholarship or not. What I did was visit the home of Nawaz. Nawaz stayed in a very popular slum in Bangalore. I went to his home. There was nothing to sit. I sat down on the mat. I got everything about Nawaz and his family, all the details. And then I helped Nawaz get scholarship from these NGOs. That day, I saw that we have thousands of students who need help. And slowly, year after year, I started working with more and more students. In 2009, the government of Karnataka identified me and my team who were working for the welfare of students, and they entrusted us with the responsibility of processing the forms the government received. So we processed the government forms. We also made sure that all the forms were sorted, corrected, sorted, and they were taken back by the government after the final selections. After this big ripple from the government, in 2015, when we saw that students actually did not know how to apply online, we came to their rescue. We decided that let's have one office, one-stop solution for all the schemes. And we came up with a project called eScholar 2015. What happened in 2015 was all the scholarships were online. And these scholarships could be accessed only by people who knew how to upload the documents, how to fill the details online. And trust me, that day I realized that we have really made a difference to the lives of students by helping them apply for these many scholarships and making their future bright. Fast forward from 2015, the journey continued until 2023. In 2023, we found that the knowledge and the information we had was something that could help people beyond Bangalore, beyond Karnataka, for the entire country. And that's when, on 1st of November, I launched the website sigmapedia.com. Sigmapedia was launched because we believed that every student must have the equal opportunity. Sigmapedia, in the 1 year of its establishment, was able to reach a huge user base, and we had more than 225,551 users in the first year. One student, Nawaz, and now we are helping more than 2 lakh students get the information, apply for various scholarships. Let me share a story, a success story of a student from Gujarat. He sends me a message and he says, "Hello sir, I am Mihir. Thank you so much, sir. From Sigmapedia information, I have applied for MphasiS scholarship and I received rupees 8 lakhs. Thank you so much, sir." Another girl, Atiya Syed, writes to me and she says, Because of the information from Sigmapedia, I have applied for Reliance Scholarship, 2 lakh rupees, and Rolls-Royce Scholarship, 25,000. I got both the scholarships. So, from Nawaz to Mihir to Atya, what we saw was lakhs of students benefiting through one single platform and one scholarship, a lifeline for millions. Coming to the third crisis, which I call as the COVID chaos. COVID changed lives. I went to the hospital on 11th of July because I was positive and had breathlessness. Sitting in the hospital. After few hours, I get a call from my wife and she says that she is positive, my daughter is positive, son, father, sister. Total, including me, 6 people from my home have tested positive, and I cried for more than 30 minutes because I realized, or I felt that time, that somebody will die. By the afternoon, I gathered the courage in myself. And I was seeing the WhatsApp messages coming all over, asking for help. And I put a message to my team. We have a team called Emergency Response Team. And the message to them was, guys, we need a website. Will you join me? Let's make a website. One message, and I got 8 people responding to the message from over 200 people. And with these 8 people, we launched the website. We launched the preparation for the website. We registered the website, www.covidhelplinebangalore.com. And from the next day, I brought the smile back on my face. I started enjoying what work I took from the hospital bed. I was no longer cribbing God that I have got COVID, what happened to my life. I decided that I am going to make this website sitting in the hospital bed with a team of just about 5 people. The website was set up, and on 17 July 2020, we launched it. I still remember, I was in the auto rickshaw. I was going home, and I sent a message to a couple of friends. The message went viral. The message was in almost all the groups of Bangalore. People started telling that, hey, look, here is the website for you to get information about beds, about oxygen, about testing. In just 3 days, July 18th, 19th, and 20th, what we saw was 18,696 users and 77,758 hits. This was just the beginning of a big responsibility God wanted us to take in COVID. We were inspired to do more. We got messages from people. The distance between a human being and being human has been closed by you. You are doing great service to humanity. People started writing so much, giving us their prayers, making us realize that with great power comes great responsibility. On this 1st of August 2020, just 2 days before the Eid, we went out and we made a campaign telling people, look, you are not going out to have biryani, but you are going to stay at home. I wore an entire PPE kit. I just wanted to tell people that if you are not at home and you go to the hospital, you are going to see yourself in this situation. You will see this life. And that made a big impact, and that video went viral again. In a few more days, I was featured in the newspaper. The headline went like this: from the hospital, COVID patient makes a go-to site. It gave us more motivation. You see here, when you want to do something genuinely good, the entire world is ready to support you. So the media supported. The media gave us the face. They told that these guys are doing something. Taking cue from the media, the government started using our website links on their Twitter handle, and they started spreading the information saying that if you want to get the testing done, go here, see the information is here on this website. In May 2021, after the second COVID wave, in fact, during the second COVID wave, we had the maximum number of deaths. One such case I would like to share is the story of Supriya. Supriya was a young woman who had just divorced, and her mother had tested positive for COVID. Supriya had no idea as to who is going to help her mother. She had no money. That's when I put a message to my team, ERT, and all of us came together to help her to get a hospital bed, give her emotional support, help her with the bills. And Supriya made a video to just thank us, saying that when nobody in our relatives came, you guys came. All this because one website started to help people. Friends, before I could see that how God opens doors, I also saw an opportunity when Give India contacted me and asked me, can you get a list of people who have been affected by COVID and they have lost their dear ones? And what I did was, I set up a form on the website. The form was to collect the information of people who have died due to COVID and their family has been impacted. So we received more than 900 applications. Out of that, Give India supported 508 families, transferred the money to each one of them, 30,000 Indian rupees, and that total sum is about 1.5 crore, which is 15 million Indian rupees. 9,44,613 users and 5.6 million hits. This is what is the statistics of COVID helpline Bangalore in 1 year. One vision, 1,000 lives saved. Crisis is an opportunity. My framework today to share with you is just follow these 3 simple words. See, start, spread. Friends, one poster to 1 million visitors website. Small action, big change. 2, one student I helped to get scholarship, and then thousands of students today get scholarship. 1 to thousands. Small action, big change. One message in WhatsApp. Let's make a website to helping millions across the world save their dear ones. One message, a big website to save lives. And I call you to take the action. See the need. It's around you. There are so many people who need you. All you need to do is see that and look closer. You will observe that you can do something. Start. It can be small. It need not be a big plan, big money, big stage. Start small. It works. All you need to do is make a call, send a message, go meet somebody. It begins with small actions. And the third is spread. Spread the ripple. Once you start something that's interesting, that's great, don't just stop and limit yourself. Ask for help. Reach out to people. People are more than ready to help you. Okay? Persist and invite others. So, in this small talk, all I want to tell you at the end is, your efforts will always be recognized. Your efforts will not go waste. My challenge to all of you today, just start a ripple. Thank you very much for being nice.